What do you think, Deborah? That was a good night's sleep after going out to Balancing Heart Vineyard last night and seeing Nine Your Sister and having a great seafood deal. That was great.
Platters, yeah, it's very nice.
I really love walking through the vineyards and just seeing that it's so open and so inviting just to go through there. And the rock formations around that vineyard are amazing.
That's right. It was huge as well. I was really surprised how large the vineyards are for Queensland.
And the variety.
Yeah, loads. So we're about to head off and get a little bit of breakfast in Tenterfield.
Yep.
Found a cafe with some appeal in its title. It might be a reference to a band. Then we're going to take a windy route home, of course, back into Queensland. Well, we're very close to the border of Queensland anyway, but retrace some of our steps from our way here. But yeah, I think we're a fair bit further west than Kyogle anyway, so the first couple of hours
we're on top of the mountain range,
yeah, before we
top of the Great Divide, tack our way along the rim, and we'll see.
How long are we expecting?
2.5 hours, I think.
Home, is it? Yeah, really? Even with this route?
Yeah, it's not too far.
Okay, let's see how long we can drag that out for and what we can see along the way. All right, catch you later.
Bye. Looks good, doesn't it? What a lovely little town Tenterfield has turned out to be. I know we've driven through it, but only on the main drag, and probably just to stop and get fuel many times, but to actually stay the night and then have breakfast and around the place, it's go on a few extra roads other than the main one. It's quite nice.
Yeah, and I think with living in southeast Queensland, so often this is just the routes to Sydney or that area, and a way of avoiding the coastal traffic in the summer holidays and the like when you get the caravans, etc. It's much nicer driving on these, through New England. But because Sydney's like a relatively easy day trip from the Darling Downs, Lockyer Valley, southeast Queensland in general, and you can't afford to spend too much time at these places when you stop. You refuel, you grab something savoury from a bakery for lunch, and you just get going again. Apart from a toilet stop or two, that's it. So we know these towns exist. We can see that they've got these old Federation sort of era buildings and history that we'd love to learn more about, but it's so rare that you actually have the time that you can afford to spend to look around, and certainly we need to be there for more than one night. But next time, absolutely, it's on the radar to go back and learn a little bit. It really is only 2.5 hours from home in the more direct line.
Well, that's the difference between riding a car and a motorcycle. In a car, you just want to get to where you're going. When you're riding the bike, you're happy to look around and take the different routes and spend a bit of time. I think that's the main difference.
Yeah, it's such a different experience, isn't it? And even though you often travel at the same sort of speed, you just seem to see things differently. Like looking at the road surface in front of you, you see it differently to how you do in a car. And as I commented to you yesterday, we were riding twisty roads around mountain passes, really, our scale mountains. They're quite small around here. And it felt like we were riding through rainforest, and everything smells different. Even having had that little bit of rain, the vegetation just smells different to how it does at home. So you see things differently, you see different things to what you normally do as well, and you smell different things when you're riding a motorcycle. Completely different experience to travelling A to B in a car.
Yeah, when you're travelling in a car, you don't get as many bugs hitting you in the face either and crawling up inside your helmet and towards your ear, so that's another benefit.
We've heard people say as well that motorcycling is like doing work on your mental health because of the way you experience nature differently. You don't experience it like road driving. It is a little bit like being at one with nature. So you put a helmet on and you're kind of in your own little world. You can hear and see everything, but you're with yourself, and that is often a very good thing for mental health as well. Of course, there's times when it's not helpful, but yeah, it's a nice way to go and do some self-work, chuck a helmet on, and go and see and smell and feel and hear different things.
This is a lovely ride, and everything is just so enjoyable. This 650 twin is just purring along here, as I'm sure the Himalayan 450 is. We're not out to do break any speed records, so we're just like at the moment we're just doing between 80 and 90 k an hour. It's posted at 100, but it's quite comfortable just to ride along here at this speed. The air, I've got my visor up, the cool breeze is coming through on my face, and it's just comfortable.
We're just taking a walk off the main road, just outside Tenterfield, to a caved area that's known as Thunderbolt's Hideout. Thunderbolt's Hideout. That's named after Captain Thunderbolt. It's a nickname of Australia's longest bushranger. They're people who would hold up travellers back in Gold Rush sort of era, and rob them. And this guy, Fred, I've forgotten his surname, Hardy, something like that. Fred, anyway, found himself imprisoned in Sydney at some point, of course, and on Cockatoo Island, and made his escape with somebody else, swam off Cockatoo Island, but he ended up being arrested multiple times, actually mostly for stealing horses, it seems, or riding stolen horses. But when it came to the final arrest, he said, I'll die before let you arrest me. And he fired a shot which was designed to trigger the policeman to shoot him, and that's how he died. So this area, because of the caves, provided him with a safe place to camp and also to stable his horses. So there's quite a few things in this region named with Thunderbolt in their titles, a reference to this famous character of the region.
Looks as good a place as any to hide out, I dare say. Probably a little bit of a...
Quite handsome.
Yes. Probably gives a bit of a passage up here.
A very full belly.
Oh, there's nowhere coming up here. It's a dead end. And there's an inscription on the wall, on the rock, which I'm not sure what to make of that, but I'm sure if you did some research you'd find out what it was.
It's probably phallic. I think there's a lot of motorcyclists that would say that riding a road like this is boring because it's not got shorter bends. Well, we haven't encountered them yet. But I love these roads with really big, wide roadsides as well, because there's a lot of wildlife in Australia, of course, that ends up squished on the road. And the big bouncy things move very quickly as well. That's probably the biggest hazard to us, although it's more a dawn and dusk affair. These big wide roadsides certainly make you feel a little bit more secure. There's a lot more time to see something jumping perpendicular to the road that might come out in front of you. That's not to say we're safe because of the time of day or the width of the road verges, of course, but anything that buys you time, especially when you're a little bit more vulnerable on a motorcycle rather than in a car, it really helps. Really helps. So there's still enjoyment in most road types that you're going to ride, and it's one of the things I enjoy about these big wide roads. It's easy to see we're back the area of the Darling Downs, Southern Downs, but very, very similar. Fields and low hills to one side, and then the Great Dividing Range on the other.
So I've just left Killarney after having a quick little drink at a coffee van right next to the Killarney Hotel. I'd say it's all part of the one establishment, and it's probably about half a dozen bikes plus ours out the front there. So I'd say there's a few riders making the Killarney Hotel a bit of a destination point. So yeah.
It's a popular stop for weekend riders. We often see in our local Facebook groups people asking if anyone's interested in doing a ride out to Killarney on such and such a date. No doubt taking a route quite similar to the one that we're about to take, because of the lovely roads weaving through the range. Were we meant to have turned right there?
It did make me think that, but I don't even recall seeing the thing Tanny Moral, so I'll have a look at this signpost here, see what it says. Yeah, none of these make sense. It's like we've landed in another part of the country. Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh well, we don't have a schedule this time. We've just got two little doggies to pick up.
Well, it's I think it's our last stop before we get home. We just came past here on our way a few days ago, and we are a place called Gadfield, I think. Gadfield is just a little stop on the side of the road. I'm sure it's the name of the local area here, but
Cunningham Highway?
yeah, we're now on the northern side of the Cunningham Highway, so we're just going to come on through Goombra, then back down the Marmar Creek Road, and we'll be back home in the Lockyer Valley. So one more trip down the Great Divide Range.
Up or down?
Down. Yeah.
Down. Not both?
How's
Somewhere.
How's your bum?
All right. We had changed bikes again earlier, mostly because I felt absolutely stuffed, and with high-waisted pants on, I didn't want to sit with the crouch on a cafe racer when I was stuffed after breakfast. So it's nice to be able to swap and change with the two different riding positions.
And the bikes are going good, as you would expect.
Yeah, we're a little fingers crossed about getting back without a refuel on
Yeah.
the Continental.
We should, yeah.
It could. I might have a flashing bar by the time I get back.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, we'll be
we
fine.
stop for a refuel.
It's downhill all the
around
way
the corner
home.
from home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Righto.
as usual.
All right. See you when we get home.
Okay,
Bye.
bye for now.
Deborah and I are probably less than 100 k's from home, probably around 100 k's, and it has been lovely. And now we find ourselves in a bit of a sun shower. The sky is just blue and patchy in front of us, but over on our right, towards the east, there's just this random bit of rain that's come through. But I'm sure we'll get wet and then dry off as quickly as anything before we know it. We're heading to the east too, so we'll probably chase it. Heading towards the rain is. Oh well. Let's just consider that where it's raining, it needed it. Actually, we might miss it. It's going south of us. Now coming back down off the Darling Downs and making our way down the Great Divide again. We'll end up in the Lockyer Valley. It's beautiful country through here again, right on our doorstep. Big rocky ravines and traffic coming the other way. horrible feeling like I've got a bug insect wiggling around on my forehead or something, like it's come inside of my helmet. So you just tough it out till it stops wiggling. Oh, now it's coming down, tickling me on the side of my face. Like as long as it doesn't bite. I don't think it's a big one. That's what you get for riding with your visor open.